Hi and welcome to today's class. It is about detachment. There actually is the introduction to detachment that we are going to see in a few more classes about it. Detachment is very, a very big thing. It is the longer or longest process of manifestation and spirituality to actually see ourselves as the being as I am and perceive your thoughts, your emotions, other people's reactions as you were a spectator and not as you know um, of the victim or the one who reacts to emotions and thoughts and people reactions and a lot of things that happens in our external lives. So to live attached to people, things, and situation is to stay in your own emotional prison, creating tunnels to escape that take you back to the penitentiary center. So attachment comes from the ego and the need for control. It doesn't come from love. And the version of love that we know is very linked to attachment, not to unconditional love. We have been conditioned to associate love with attachment. So when we are attached, we believe that the others owes us something, that we must consider that their actions or decisions don't affect us or make us suffer. We project in the other our fears and insecurities. We believe that we have the knowledge of what is, best or not for the other person. We manipulate the other person by making him or her feel guilty for his or her actions and decisions because, he's making us suffer. And we call that love. So attachment will be, many things, but love is not, it is not love. It could be whatever it is, but it is not love. It is not based on love. It doesn't come from love. So we have grown up with that concept of love, and we are attached to everything and everyone. We are attached to ideals of how our life should be, to have assets that give you, a status, material things. We cling to what our partner should be like, to the ideal of that person, to the ideal of a relationship, to a professional position, to a relationship that we have, set up in our minds, but it's just, a ideal or, an expectation. We get attached to a country. We live attached and unhappy, attached and empty, attached and disappointed. Because either we are waiting for people to give us what we have in our minds, or we are doing, circus and theater to fill the voids to others. And neither one thing nor the other. And, you are not one thing, you are not the other. And meanwhile, you go from one side to another of your emotional jail. So for this introduction, this is probably sounds a little bit hard, but I want to get clear in some points so we understand what I am referring to with the attachment. So the first thing is, no, nobody owes you anything. Nobody. Neither your friends, nor your partner, nor your parents, nor your children, nor your brothers, nor your teachers. Nobody owes you anything. So we stop thinking that the other person has to do something just to please you, as if they own you something. They don't owe you anything. So it's enough, we have to cut off with the victim complex, with that victim mentality, and that same no one takes into account what I think or what I say is scenario, because you are just taking the victim position. If in is this an other person that is taking that victim position, it is necessary to put limits to it, because it's affecting you. You feel guilty because the other person is not happy, but you want to do what you feel you want to do for your happiness. So we have to cut the attachment cord in that moment. So 2, let's stop projecting an improved version of ourselves and decorate it with the phrase, I want you to be happy. Don't, don't try to project the life that you want in the other. Just say, I think that is not good for you, and I want you to be happy. No, you don't. You are just projecting your own fears, your own insecurities, or the life that you want, and you don't dare to create it. So you don't know what makes the other person happy. No one can know what makes you happy, just you. So if you want that person to be happy, let them be happy. Don't intervene. At least you are giving love, to make them happy. Let them be. If you are not, giving light and positive things and love to that person to make that person happy, stay out of the way and let them be. If it's happening to you, that someone is saying this to you, put limits. It is not necessary for them to be in your way to happiness. Just very kindly, very lovingly, you say, I understand that you think you know what makes me happy, but only me knows what makes me happy. So I appreciate you worried about me, or you telling me this, but I need you to let me be and let me make my own decisions. And if you want to share it, it's okay. If you don't want to share it, it's okay too. So, but very lovingly, you can put limits on people. 3, no one has the power to hurt you or make you suffer or make you feel less. Don't blame others because they don't give you what you don't give yourself. The words, action, reaction, decisions of others should be observed, not, you don't have to take those reactions as something personal. If you feel hurt, it is because you are allowing it, not because the other is doing something to you. You're just allowing the other to hurt you because you are taking what that person is saying or doing as a personal thing. Drop the past that many with have, with the sticking to what happened. But for what? What are you doing with that? You are not a recycling machine. You're a spiritual being in a human experience. You honor your human part. You make decisions and you take lessons. The mistakes that are not mistakes are lessons are good, because if we don't, make decisions, things that can go right or can go wrong. But how do you learn if you always play it safe? Let go of the false concept that you have to do the impossible to maintain a perfect life, like a linear life, a normal life. The normal never did anything extraordinary. The normal doesn't go beyond. The normal doesn't evolve or progress or live. Another thing is your partner is not your project. I mentioned the partner because it occurs more commonly with romantic relationships, but we also use our children, our relatives, and even people we barely know as our projects. So if you want to remodel something, remodel the kitchen, the bedroom, the closet, but not your partner. Your significant one is not a project. You don't have to do, to fix them so they can match your way. Everyone is who they are. So respect that. Accept that person for what he or she is. Love them for what he or she is. And that's it. If that person is not aligned with you, let go. And look for people who are in tune with you and with who you truly are. If when you meet your partner, you see that he likes to smoke, for example. Don't try to change him later because he likes to smoke and you knew him that way and you knew that when you met him. So don't try to change him later because he's a grown-up man. If he wants to do that, it is a decision he's making, you know? So emotional manipulation is not love. If you withdraw your affection and transform your attitude toward the person because he or she didn't do or say something that, you don't agree with, you are manipulating that person. If you change your attitude, if you change your love because of something that person said or did and you don't agree, you are manipulating that person. It is the story of, if you don't eat, I will take away your lollipop. Please, until when we are going to be emotionally, when is this going to end? When is this going to end that we stop blackmailing emotionally others in the name of love? Like, I love you and I'm manipulating you. No, that's not love. So here's the thing. If you don't agree, you have two options. Or you accept it and express your support, or you accept it and even if you don't support, you respect it without emotionally blackmailing the other person. The only option you have is to accept it because it's that person's life. You don't have, you cannot intervene, You don't have the power in the other person's life to make them do or say what you want to because it's not your life. So the other person don't have to alter their life simply because you don't agree. Ask yourself what you have to work on you that bothers you so much. What bothers you about others reflects something you don't accept in yourself. Another thing is build your own concept of life. Stop clinging to what it should be. That only brings great frustration. What works for you doesn't necessarily work for me. What stability is for you is not stability for me. You are not a photocopy. And as I have always said, I am not a cow to be following herd. Connect with what makes you unique, with what is important to you, with what is aligned with your true self. Stop co-creating your life based on people's opinion. And last but not least, you are not your emotions. Learn how to feel without getting attached to the emotion because you will get trapped there. Learn how to raise above your emotions. Feel them, acknowledge them, and then release them. I wanted to share with you this point so we can be in the same page with the detachment, so you can acknowledge when I am going to work with you in the next classes about detachment, because we have to stop manipulating. We have to stop with this victim a stage of our lives, like, oh, poor me. No, it's not poor you. You have the power to change your life. You have the power to make this life wonderful, to make it a wonderful experience. But we have to learn to not be emotionally reactive to everything and to everyone. We can love unconditionally with our heart, our soul, but your life doesn't have to be conditioned to other people's opinions, So now we have cleared the path. So in the next class about detachment, we are going to talk more profoundly about letting go of the victim state. So that this is a process and you must be patient and compassionate with yourself and with others. When I talk about detachment, it's not that you start being rude with others, or it is not about that. It is not about that. It is to learn to put limits, to learn to make clear that you are the captain of your life. You are the one who is co-creating your life with the help of the spiritual world, with the help of God and spirit. So you have to make that clear to people without being rude, without hurting others, with compassion, with love. We can, with our energy, when you are certain, when you trust yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in the power that you have, when you believe in that connection you have with the spiritual world, people feel it. People feel that you are in control. Control, is not, you are, let me find another word because I don't like the word control. We don't control anything. So you are presenting yourself for your life. You are taking charge of your life. That's the word. So people can feel it. People can feel when you are taking charge of your life. And that's what I want, to get with you. That you learn how to take charge of your life in positive ways. And people see that and people feel that, and you compassionate and lovingly, can say, hey, okay, but no, you can't decide for me. You don't know what makes me happy. So if you agree, perfect. If you don't, just respect it. And I am here. I am not mad, but this is my decision. This is what I am doing. So it is that process, of not, sometimes you find people around you that, make a lot of drama and get you involved in that drama, and you make your decision but feel guilty about it, and you are very influenced by those people energy and opinion and manipulation. So it is important to detach from those things. So thank you for joining me, and I see you tomorrow in another class. Have a blessed night, and God bless you always.